Hello and welcome to Views on News. I'm Jawad Tehami. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has reiterated Pakistan's desire of elevating the excellent political ties with the United Arab Emirates to the mutually beneficial economic partnership. And this happened when he was talking to the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of the United Arab Emirates, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan. On the occasion, the UAE's Deputy Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister appreciated the contributions of Pakistan's community in the UAE's development. He had also had meeting with his Pakistan's counterpart, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Ishaq Dar, also saying that Pakistan is close to our hearts. Earlier, the Foreign Office in a statement had said, let me quote, "This high-level visit reflects the deep-rooted fraternal relations between Pakistan and the United Arab Emirates and underscores the two countries' shared commitment to strengthening bilateral cooperation across all areas of mutual interest." The visit of His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan will further cement the long-standing Pakistan-UAE ties and contribute to deepening bilateral engagements in diverse fields, benefiting the peoples of both the countries. Unquote. Also, during this very important two-day visit of the Deputy Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister of the United Arab Emirates to Pakistan, number of important engagements happens. Also, one aspect was very important. There was signing of three memoranda of understanding between the two sides. Also, to discuss this particular bilateral relationship between the United Arab Emirates and Pakistan, we are honored to be joined in the studio by Mr. Khalid TaimurAkram, international relations expert. Mr. Akram, thank you very much for your time, for being with us on the show tonight. Really appreciate that. On Skype at the same time, we are honored to be joined by Dr. Jamil Khan, former ambassador to the United Arab Emirates. Dr. Khan, thank you very much for your time also, for being with us on the show tonight. We really appreciate that. Mr. Akram, now Prime Minister, during this very important meeting with the Deputy Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister of the United Arab Emirates, reaffirmed the deep-rooted ties between Pakistan and the UAE, built on a number of aspects. The first of it, which the Prime Minister has talked about, is shared history. When we try to explore this particular aspect of this particular bilateral relationship, what's your understanding?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's very encouraging that the UAE Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister is here. He is a very important family of the UAE royal family, and he is the son of Sheikh Syed, who was the founder of UAE, and ever since UAE got independence, Pakistan's relationship with UAE has been very, very instrumental. Pakistan had helped UAE in development of their armed forces. Pakistan had initially helped UAE in developing their air force. Emirates Airline was started off by with the help of Pakistan. The symbol of Emirates Airline, EK, means Emirates and Karachi. And since 1971, when UAE got independence, the founding president of UAE, Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, he had a very, very close relationship with Pakistan. And this relationship and the legacy is not only carried by the present UAE president, but also by the heads of all the Emirates. And I must acknowledge over here that in testing times, it was UAE who had been always helping Pakistan, whether it is after Pakistan carried out the nuclear attacks under the able command of His Excellency Nawaz Sharif. It was UAE who had helped Pakistan then also, and now also, once Pakistan was in a lot of economical crisis 2 years back, and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has had many of the visits to UAE, and it was UAE who had come forward to help us. So if we see the overall trajectory of the relationship, it is, I think, going in the right direction. In addition, I must mention over here that UAE had helped our armed forces also in lots of fields. There are lots of bridges, there are lots of hospitals which are made in the terrorism hit areas in Wana and in other areas are with the support of UAE. So overall, if we see Pakistan's relationship with UAE is going in the right direction, and over here we must acknowledge the efforts of Army Chief General Asim Munir and also Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Deputy Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, because they had been very instrumental in enhancing this relationship.
Right, Dr. Jamil Khan, when we try to take a stock of how this particular bilateral relationship evolved over time, where does it stand at this particular point in time, with the number of high-level engagements happening in the recent past and including this one?
Well, first of all, Pakistan is the one which established its diplomatic mission in UAE and first country, and and there's so many other aspects as was being discussed earlier, that the Pakistani workforce, both in blue collar as well as in all their aspects of development in the process, in the entire history of their development, they find Pakistani's role in a huge manner. So Pakistanis were in the banking sectors, in the defense. You already heard it. The defense, the member of their defense forces, including the army chief. Once I was ambassador there, the army chief and Air Force chief at that time, they would say that they are the one, they got their training from Pakistan, and they had so many colleagues. In fact, the trainers, they continue to be there for several decades, and now they have attained to a greater extent the sufficiency in terms of their training in the various armed forces academy. But then they definitely remember I still distinctly remember my meetings even with Highness Sheikh Saeed Rashid, who is the chairman of Emirates and chairman of so many other organizations of Emirates, and he would narrate so many stories about how Emirates came into being and how it progressed. And he would remember that the contribution which was made initially by Pakistan in establishing that. So all these infrastructure, the banking sector, and their technical aspect in terms of their energy, in terms of their power, in terms of whatever you name in the history of their development, you'll find the Pakistani workforce and Pakistani at most of the places. So that's one aspect. And second, the visit, high power visit, like His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed, he is indeed a very, very important person. He's holding this portfolio for the last several years, and a very competent and a very able person, basically. And then this high-level meeting, it's a testimony that the trajectory of the relation between Pakistan and UAE, it is attaining even further traction and improving. And this yields further progress in terms of trade, in terms of strengthening the relations, as you have narrated about the MOU which has been signed, in terms of other aspects like culture, the joint committee, which on consular affairs, sometimes there are some glitches in terms of visa, because we have a very large workforce there, and sometimes there are some issues in that. So they have now formulated the joint consular affairs committee, which means that then they can solve the problem if something crops up without losing any time. And then this MOU, which has been signed between the Federal UAE Chamber of Commerce and Industry and Pakistani Federal Pakistan Chamber of Commerce and Industry, that by itself is a demonstration that they intend enhancing their trade and commerce, both entities. So things are moving very fast, as the foreign minister.
That in those also in the right direction, and this particular it also speaks volumes about this particular strength of this particular bilateral relationship that has strengthened with the passage of time and keeps on strengthening with every single passing day. Mr. Khalid, now looking at this particular statement by Prime Minister when he expresses and reiterates Pakistan's desire of elevating the excellent political ties between Pakistan and the UAE into a mutually beneficial economic cooperation or partnership. How to further strengthen and cement this particular bilateral mutually beneficial economic cooperation, the UAE being the third largest trading partner of Pakistan and one of the leading partners when we talk about the Middle Eastern region and North Africa. In the fiscal year 2023-24, the bilateral trade volume between the two countries exceeded $10.9 billion. How to further cement it?
Yes, first of all, taking advantage of this special program, I must acknowledge the services of one person who is His Excellency Hamad Ubaid Al-Zabi, who is the UAE ambassador in Pakistan. He's been here since last couple of years, and we have seen that he has contributed a lot in bringing Pakistani business to UAE, in bringing the UAE business to Pakistan. We have been seeing that lately there have been some negative propaganda about the visa thing, and just very recently the ambassador, while he was in Karachi, he not only announced and told the business people about the new visa regime in which Pakistani people can now get up to 5 years of multiple visas. So there is no issue of visas, there is no issue of doing business in UAE. In fact, UAE is one of those countries where the ease of business is so much that many countries of the world they learn from UAE. And there are lots of Pakistani business houses who have their offices in UAE. There are a lot of media houses who have their offices in UAE, and the shipping lines, they have their offices in UAE. And what I'm seeing that in days and months to come, the UAE is also going to play a very major role in Pakistan's economy. As we know that Abu Dhabi's the Dubai Port Authority and Abu Dhabi Port Authority, they are already here in Pakistan. They already have signed agreements with the Karachi Port and Qasim Port, and they are even ready to go to Gwadar and invest in Gwadar. Similarly, the UAE has got a big industry of oil. Their oil industry is ready to come to Pakistan and give refined oil to our refineries. Similarly, UAE is now, as you know, it homes one of the biggest real estate market in the world, and one of the most stable market in the world is the UAE market. The UAE dirham, I think since last 30 years or 40 years, it has been on the same exchange rate with the US dollar. So it shows the stability, it shows the policies of the UAE government. And UAE has always not only been helping in Pakistan in terms of providing us with whatever money our government needed, whatever fixed deposit accounts we needed, but also in terms of investments in Pakistan. And similarly, as we know that UAE is the first probably country in the world which had established a religious tolerance ministry a few years back. And they are not only working with Pakistan also, but they are working with many countries of the world where there is radicalization, and UAE is helping us a lot in de-radicalization also.
Dr. Khan, now talking about this particular bilateral trade volume already that exists between the two countries, what is the potential as a former ambassador to the United Arab Emirates? What are the core areas that you identify that these both countries can actually go further in order to enhance that to even a considerable extent?
In fact, we have to really first enhance our own goods and services production capacity. the UAE can absorb any amount and any quantity of our export. This is what they would normally tell it to me. There were 2 points they would normally emphasize in terms of enhancing the trade, and they used to really desire that all these, even the fresh fruits, what we've been exporting, and they would say that we would love to have most of it from Pakistan. And the only thing is the packaging and the polishing of our stuff. So there are certain aspects in the fresh vegetable and food that is low-hanging fruit that we can always enhance, that we can always increase the production, and then comes all other aspects of the trade, whether it's clothing, whether it's because in UAE it's not only the UAE population. It's almost now over 11.35 billion people living in UAE, and 88% of them are expatriate. So not all people living in UAE they can buy the high-end stuff which is available in supermarkets, what we see in UAE. There are the all other classes of the expatriates from all over the world. They can only buy those goods which are affordable. Pakistan can always produce those affordable goods and compete in that market. They are encouraging. In fact, UAE encourage if we try and compete with some of the countries, because they are the one, they are facilitating and trade wise they are really asking us to really enhance and send. Besides that, our about a large percentage of our import, which is rebranded in UAE, and exported to Pakistan. So that particular items which are exported to Pakistan can be manufactured there within Pakistan. And if the rebranding system in UAE, if there are certain tariff and or on that and rebranding system, instead of having the rebranded goods from the UAE, we can always directly import from those respective countries. So that will reduce the burden of our trade deficit. Then coming back on that, UAE is the one which ranks about 11th globally in terms of goods export. That's basically because of the re-exporting of the goods from these countries, and they have the surplus of about $134 billion despite all these global uncertainties. And then their non-oil trade is now surpassed their oil trade, and that indicates that they are the one, they are now producing so many other items, and Pakistan can always cooperate. They are very encouraging in terms of setting up joint venture, if, whether in Pakistan or in UAE, and Pakistan can also tap that opportunity to enhance their bilateral trade with the United Arab Emirates. Their export, and now they are exporting so many electronic goods, and basically they have started producing them, themselves. So there we can always have the joint venture with them. The free trade, the free zones here, UAE. In fact, and then those free zone, Pakistan can always, and there are a large number of companies. They have established their units there, and because of which those earnings what they're making, they are also sending it to Pakistan. In all these fields, non-oil export, or economy, diversification, Pakistan can always, as I said, they have a joint venture with them. So having that in mind, I personally feel that even in the defense industry, although they are going for the very high tech
That particular
defense
point,
industry.
Dr. Jamil Khan, if I seek your pardon for the interjection over here, I'll come to that particular very important aspect, the defense cooperation between Pakistan and the United Arab Emirates. For right now, I'll have to go for a quick, short break. After this particular break, we'll be resuming the discussion from here. For that, stay tuned. Welcome back to Views on News. I'm Jawad. In today's program, we are discussing the ever-strengthening bilateral relationship between the United Arab Emirates and Pakistan, and this high-level visit by the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of the United Arab Emirates, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, his important interactions both with Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Shehbaz Sharif, and Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Ishaq Dar. In the studio, we are honored to be joined by Mr. Khalid TaimurAkram. On Skype, we are joined by Dr.Jamil Khan. Before heading for the break, we were in a discussion with our panelists regarding as to this particular flourishing trade volume between both the countries. Mr. Akram, looking at this particular bilateral trade volume that has exceeded for the fiscal year 2023 and 24 above $10.9 billion, specifically talking about the investment that Pakistan looks forward to at this particular point in history, when the economy is on right track. There was a launch and establishment of gigantic visionary projects such as the Special Investment Facilitation Council, the Green Pakistan Initiative, and a number of other areas. Also, we have also recently seen that Mineral Investment Summit happening in Pakistan. So with this establishment of SIFC, lots of potential when we talk about the mineral side in Pakistan as well. So this particular investment by the United Arab Emirates in the last decade, according to the UAE's foreign ministry, has exceeded 10 billions also. Given these circumstances, with the SIFC in place, mineral investment, Pakistan looking for that, and also looking for enhancing the exports, which Pakistan has also successfully increased when it comes to exports to the United Arab Emirates also. What is the potential? What could be that particular core focus when it comes to the UAE's investment in Pakistan?
Yes, this is quite interesting that UAE is one of those countries who had been very consistent in their relationship with Pakistan and their investments in Pakistan. But as you have said, that after the creation of SIFC, which is also a single window and for the ease of business for the foreign investors, it has basically given a momentum to those foreign investments which was coming to Pakistan, because previously those investors used to find that window, that where to go and how to talk with people and where to go and look for the opportunities for investment. And this all kind of facilities are now provided by SIFC. And yes, the green tourism project of Pakistan is also very important, and we have a lot to learn from UAE in terms of tourism, because UAE in last 50 years has become the tourist hub for complete world. So their hospitality industry, their logistic industry, their local transport industry, their handling of tourists, their tourist places, they all are iconic. And Dubai has turned out to be world's tourist capital, where everyone from the complete world, they go and for the holidays, whether they are from rich countries or they are from poor countries. For all of them, UAE has something to offer. And I think with Pakistan's initiatives of green tourism and Pakistan's initiatives of SIFC, we can learn a lot from the UAE experience. The UAE companies can come to Pakistan, they can invest in the hoteling industry, because in Pakistan the domestic tourism is quite increased, and we are a fifth largest populated country in the world. So I'm sure that the UAE hospitality industry will find Pakistan as one of their major I would say resource earning places. And also, as you have said about the minerals, UAE companies are interested in mining in Pakistan, and we saw a big delegation of UAE coming to Pakistan during the minerals conference. Of course, they are interested in not only taking out minerals but also establishing plants for refining them over here. UAE also has one of the biggest gold markets in the world. And
is that something specific to the technology transfer to get those semi-finished or finished products, rather than, as Prime Minister very categorically said, that Pakistan actually looks forward to export the semi-finished or finished products rather than the raw products when it comes to the mineral exports. So is there any chance we can get that benefit when it comes to the United Arab Emirates and its investors' interest in the mineral sector of Pakistan
Yes.
as far as the technology transfer, so that we can actually export those finished products abroad?
Yes, our Prime Minister has categorically said this thing, that Pakistan is keenly interested in exporting the finished mineral products, and the UAE investment can help us because, as you know, that since last 75-80 years, we know that we have lots of minerals, but Pakistan lacked those resources of not only extracting those minerals out, but also refining them.
Yep.
So the UAE the investors from UAE can come to Pakistan and also invest. Also, I must acknowledge over here the efforts of UAE in maintaining the sanctity of our desert, because Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan and subsequent UAE leaders have been coming during the hunting season in Cholistan desert, but over there they have not been hunting those rare species. They are actually, UAE is one of those countries which has really helped Pakistan in maintaining and in preserving those animals in the desert, and also in development of the Cholistan region, because the UAE government and the UAE business people have been coming very regularly to the desert areas, not only in Cholistan but also in Sindh. They have helped the poor people over there, and they are running many schools over there. I have been visiting Rahimi Khan and the area surrounding that. So if you go over there, you will find lots of schools in the villages. You will find lots of clean water projects being done by the UAE, not only by the government but by the UAE businessmen who are helping people over there. So I must say this thing, that the bond between people of Pakistan, the rulers of UAE and people of UAE is very, very strong. It is not only we are bound together with religion, but we are also socially very well connected with each other. And the UAE people, they remember the help which Pakistan provided them once this country was newly established in 1971.
We'll be talking about this particular aspect in detail. A number of aspects related to that also to be discussed later in the show. Let me once again proceed to Dr. Jamil Khan. Dr. Khan, when we talk about the Special Investment Facilitation Council in place, Pakistan also keen to foreign investment, particularly when we talk about the mineral exploration, extraction, refinement is concerned. Recently, we've had a very huge mood in which delegations from all across the world participated with their interest in Pakistan's mineral sector, specifically talking about the United Arab Emirates. With SIFC and this particular Pakistan's keen desire of attracting foreign investment in minerals, what potential do you see in the coming days? Dr. Khan, if you could kindly unmute yourself.
I would like to describe it in two steps. One is the investment through the SIFC, and then SIFC is the main thing, main feature, because that was the main impediment throughout. And in fact, once they would discuss it with me, they would mention to me that there are about 24 departments, and once our investors, they go there, they really face a lot of difficulties. But with that impediment removed, and now SIFC, which is one window operation, that has given a good opportunity to all the investors. Now, there are two sectors which is a low-hanging fruit. One is the desert and desert safari. There was a concept even in my time, and with this new impetus and with the new high power, the interest and the visits, it appears that concept can again be, and that was the satellite tourism. And that satellite tourism was that people coming from all over the world to United Arab Emirates, UAE, and they could be offered that, okay, here is just 1 day trip to desert safari, Cholistan, or desert in Thar area, and then they could visit 1 day trip or 1 night trip, and then they can go back. Since they have a very good, UAE has good infrastructure attracting the tourists. So this is, and then there are many aspects of this kind. Rare earth and this mine and minerals, they are now the main attraction. UAE they could now, I think they're already in pipeline some of the considerations for the investment, but now this is the time that Pakistan is perhaps trying and can even facilitate it further. They are willing to make investment in the rare earth. They are willing to make investment in the mine and mineral because that is where they know that their investors can have a win-win game. Uh, and they're so much interested, even all along during my time or succeeding time, they had a particular interest in terms. Of course, the rare earth. There are so many other interests, but a common person there in UAE, they are interested in ceramics. They are interested in other finished goods. So once that investment is made, Pakistan at this point in time lacks the resources to invest because they require the mine and minerals finished product and the extraction of that. It requires a huge investment, and that UAE can come for that investment, and then even setting up those units, setting up those industries, setting up those setups which could uh, produce the finished product. And that is where SIFC, the creation of SIFC is really a step which could enhance and which could be definitely made best use of it. Now, SIFC, all other departments and ministries, if they collaborate and they enhance their collaboration in what we are discussing here, that would attract, that would pave the way, that would create a platform for the investors, not only UAE being the country which is always interested in a collaboration with Pakistan, but there are other countries also they would start to. So this is a rare opportunity for us to really utilize this facility of SIFC and offer the facilitation which was lacking previously. That the people would go and
Proved to be a game changer in the entire equation. Let me proceed once again to Mr. Akram. Mr. Akram, now you already talked about the support Pakistan gave to the United Arab Emirates right after independence, especially when it comes to the formation or the establishment of the armed forces over there, as well as the Air Force. There was one point, I'll go back to Dr. Khan for his take regarding that also, when he was talking about the defense cooperation between the two countries. So when you mention of that very support Pakistan extended to the United Arab Emirates when it came to establishment of their armed forces and help as far as their air force is concerned. Now, where does this particular cooperation stand? And also in terms of when we talk about the defense production, which happens to be one of the key areas under the head of SIFC.
Actually, I have been witness to this kind of defense cooperation myself, because then I was studying in school in UAE, and my father was the first defense liaison officer once he got posted in early 80s. So we happened to see that cooperation by ourselves. Pakistan Army had helped UAE Army in standing up. The UAE officers, they used to get training in Pakistan Military Academy, and they still are. Just a few days back, the UAE Special Forces were here in Pabid for joint exercises, and we also saw the UAE Air Force being raised by Pakistan Air Force, and still there are lots of Pakistani Air Force retired pilots who are working in the UAE Air Force. In addition to that, our Navy had helped UAE Navy a lot, and we have been even sending our naval vessels to UAE for their training missions, and UAE had been actively participating in the Aman exercises. Right now, the defense cooperation is also going on very well. UAE is also one of the major arms buyer from Pakistan, because as you know, in last couple of years Pakistan has developed a big defense industry, and one of our major buyers is UAE. UAE has also shown interest in JF-17 aircrafts. UAE has also purchased the Mushak aircraft, which we produce for the training purposes. So the defense cooperation in terms of bilateral relation, in terms of trainings, in terms of buying defense equipment from Pakistan, in terms of our trainers going there, training them, in terms of their people coming over here, is going excellently well. And I'm sure that in days and times to come, this defense cooperation is going to increase a lot. And let me tell over here the audience that UAE royal family has a special respect for our armed forces. Whenever the army chief goes to UAE for his official engagements, despite of keeping aside all the protocol or anything, the UAE president, he is very kind towards Pakistan military forces, and he always meets our military leadership. And also whenever their military delegations they come to Pakistan, they are also very keen in not only learning from Pakistan, but also collaborating in all the sectors.
Right. Dr. Khan, how would you like to shed light on this very important facet of the bilateral relationship? Dr. Khan, kindly unmute yourself.
This is the biggest strength which Pakistan has. In fact, the military diplomacy and military to military relations have been always very strong. And in that context, this defense production or any initiative on the defense sector can always be very much tapped in. And I've seen myself, as I was mentioning in the previous segment, that even the chiefs, they are people at very important positions. They are the alumni of Pakistan academies. And now, before they retire, I think Pakistan, with the new initiative of SIFC, with the new initiative which government is taking in enhancing their bilateral relationship, they can always have the joint venture, as has already been mentioned by Mr. Taimur, in our efforts which we are making. The world is moving from the west to global south, and then global south, all these joint venture which we are doing with Chinese, UAE can always be attracted. And subsequently, I think with the changing geopolitical landscape, the Gulf countries, UAE included, they would definitely like to have a collaboration where their defenses, they have always been relying on the Pakistan armed forces in terms of their security, may it be Saudi Arabia, may it be UAE. So likewise with the geopolitical changing landscape, whenever there is any skepticism about the internal security or external security of UAE, they always look up to Pakistan. So military diplomacy has always worked.
Military diplomacy has always worked, and I just want your quick point, because unfortunately we're short of time. A lot of aspects really need to be discussed, but this important point that you already talked about, one MOU signed as far as the establishment of joint committee for consular affairs is concerned. How far-reaching an impact would it have regarding consular services? A quick take, please, Dr. Khan.
We sometimes have problems. We have sometimes problems, because if you have over 3 million, over 2.5 million people working there, then they would definitely have their problems such as visa, such as consular access. Where there is where there are people living, there would be some violations of law. I've been visiting the prisons of the UAE, and I would find a large number of Pakistani and other nations there in the prison. So, this joint committee can very much help. There were some trivial matters which could and which we've been resolving and I've been resolving. So through this joint committee, that would reduce the timing of resolving those problems.
Well, I'll have to take this very particular point to Mr. Akram also. Mr. Akram, your quick take regarding this particular aspect.
Yes, I think that Pakistan and UAE relationship, as the ambassador had said, it has not only going forward, but also it is reaching to a point where Pakistan is becoming one of the major stakeholder in the development and in the security of the Middle Eastern countries. We have seen Pakistani military going and protecting the holy places in Saudi Arabia, and in Qatar also. We have seen during the football, we had been providing them with the security for the overall security of the Middle East, and especially UAE and the surrounding countries. Their collaboration with our military, their collaboration with our armed forces, with Navy and Air Force is a must. And they also understand that Pakistan is a nuclear country. Pakistan is very important for them. We have been giving them skilled manpower. If you see in every hospital of UAE, you would find our doctors performing very well. So I feel that in days and times to come, this relationship will go further, and due to the efforts of our Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, I am sure that UAE will be investing a lot in Pakistan, and especially in the minerals.
Mr. Khalid, TaimurAkram, international relations expert, thank you very much for being with us on the show tonight. Dr. Jamil Khan, former ambassador of the United Arab Emirates, joining us on Skype. So thank you very much for your time, also for being with us on the show tonight. Really appreciate that. With that, we come to the end of today's episode. Till the next one, take good care of yourselves.